Welcome to Bearded Beggar Banter. Sorry, I had a little glitch in the video there. Welcome to the sports podcast. Welcome, Trent. Welcome, Trey. And
hello.
Hey, Trent's wife.
Hey.
All right.
Little feature for the week, huh?
We got a fun-filled episode here. There's a lot of football. I really feel like it's catching wind, catching fire. So somebody better put it out, catch a hose.
It's going too fast.
Well, Tyler, a lot of football is super accurate. Understanding that we are now on a 56-day stretch.
Oh man,
where we will have football all those days.
God, that's the best.
Thankfully, because I was getting a little discouraged with baseball there. I know baseball playoffs are completely different, but I also wanted to stick to my guns and stick with my comfort of the K-props. 1-1 there in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying they're gone. But I did learn a little bit just in the sense of, what was it, Corbin Burns? I think he threw 8 innings and only had 3 Ks. And he was capped at 4.5. I'm like, how the hell do you not get 5? That's all I needed.
Yeah.
But RIP to the Orioles for this season. No longer a thing. And it is now fully football season.
That's right.
With March Madness right around the corner. So let's get into it. You guys want to talk college football here to start?
Let's do it.
All right. So
college.
So let's look back a little bit. There was obviously some big games that we had talked about last week. We'll start off with Penn State handled their business versus Illinois. Wasn't pretty, but they still handled business. Illinois is a tough team, and they always do come in. I feel like they always come into Happy Valley too, playing tough. Penn State didn't cover, so
I was gonna
cheers.
say,
yeah, cheers to you guys for that.
double.
It's like this mini little
Schweppies.
Tiny ass little Schweppes ginger ale. But cheers. They just literally the size of my hand.
Going back to the Penn State game, it's funny because I'm watching the game and I think we were up by I don't know what it was. I think it was just 7 at the time or whatever. And we were pretty much in control of the game, we as in Penn State. And I was angry. I was so frustrated. And even though and it was because they weren't covering the beer bet that I bet you guys. So like you guys said, it was a good win.
Yeah.
It was. I didn't think it was a good game by Penn State, and they still won. So that was at least somewhat promising from them, considering James Franklin's history in big games. But overall, yeah, I was. It felt closer than what it was, and I don't know if it's just because I was cheering for the beer bet or what. But
defense looked really good though. Penn State's defense did.
I felt like it wasn't Illinois game. You know what I mean? I felt like it was an Illinois game. So the fact that Penn State was able to win it,
that's a good way to put it. They felt in control even though we won.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time I tuned in, I was like, holy hell.
Yeah.
So that was one of the games. I don't have a lot to say about Notre Dame taking care of Louisville. I think that was kind of one of those things. What Notre Dame team's going to show up, but they handled business. It wasn't a blowout by any means, but at the same time, they still took care of it. Other big game was obviously Alabama, Georgia, which was just mind blowing, which also makes me a little bit nervous though, just because it turned out from a blowout to, game of the year so far. You can make that argument. Alabama tried to lose until down the stretch there. Milroe definitely put the team on his back and made some big plays when he had to. So that was a pretty phenomenal game all around.
Yeah. Milroe had 120 rushing yards and 375 passing yards.
It's crazy.
4 total touchdowns. This was his Heisman coming out game.
Oh, absolutely.
To me.
Absolutely.
But one thing about this game, and just not even the game in general, but just the social media after the game was the hate. I kind of felt bad for him. Was the hate that Carson Beck got for his physical appearance, not even his play.
Yeah, I saw him compared to a hammerhead shark. I think.
The shark one that got me. That was.
What was the guy? The little rascally guy from Ice Age, the movie.
Oh yeah, Sloth.
Or
you mean the squirrel?
Scrat. Maybe the squirrel. Maybe that's what I mean.
Either way, I feel bad for the guy because he had 440 passing yards. He had a good game too. Granted, he just got the loss. Imagine they win that game. This is his Heisman coming out game, I think. So great game all around, like you said. And just to see Georgia take the lead just for Alabama to answer right back with, man, that 17-year-old Ryan Williams, look out, man. He is scary.
Yeah. That was a quick turnaround, but yeah, I think Georgia just waited too long.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how these offenses can look so bad, but then like all of a sudden 7 minutes left and every single thing that Georgia does is like chunk play, touchdown. And it's kind of like I think I compared it to like the Falcons versus the Eagles that one night where they didn't do anything all night, and then all of a sudden 2-minute drill, game on the line, score in 47 seconds. It's like where was that?
I want to ask, like, how much of that is like coaching? Because in the NFL, they give guys some freedom to maybe not run the plays that are called. You know what I mean? As an offensive coordinator, and I feel like in the college, very few quarterbacks have that right. So do you think it's just like play callers getting in their groove, or players getting in their groove, or maybe just both? Because you're right, Trent. Like I don't know how they go from.
I think there's two things. One, you completely understand. Hey, like we're going to become one-dimensional. So you're shortening your menu. Does that make sense? To where ignore the run. Now hey, we got to throw.
Right.
You can't score 28 points with one play, right? So, but you're still going to shorten your menu, especially where Georgia was at. They had to throw, right?
Wouldn't shortening the menu benefit the defense, though? You think?
Well, now here's the other side of things. Defenses get, and it drives all of us nuts. They get less aggressive, and they sit back to just say, "Hey, let's just not blow it,"
right?
Instead of let's go take it, right? Because the first 4 quarters, you're dialing up blitzes, pressures, games. This guy's a cut. Whereas now you're saying, "Hey, let's sit back and, maybe a safe shell in the secondary, and just rush your front 4, and hopefully they can get to them." So it's like it's a little bit of both, because what do they say? Prevent defense just prevents you from winning most of the time. It feels like. So
I've seen that plenty of times too.
So I think that's a little bit of it, but Trey, I think you really hit the nail on the head with Milroe, his coming out party. I mean, not that he has been underrated by any means, but I think honestly, he now puts him in the conversation of a top 10 draft pick if a team's looking for a quarterback.
Ooh.
I would take Milroe over Sanders.
Yeah.
I would.
I'm just all right. So let's take an NFL quarterback though on the spot, because I have a guy that sticks out to me right off the bat in terms of the rushing, the aggression, the passing in college. But he's an NFL quarterback right now that has not been too successful yet. Hasn't really had the opportunity.
Okay, let me guess. Is it one of your guys, Spencer Rattler?
No.
Tyler loves him.
I don't know, Todd. Who is it?
He reminds me of Richardson with the Colts.
Oh
no.
No. He's actually, in my opinion, Milroe, is more proven than Richardson was coming out of college.
Not disagreeing with that. I'm saying his style of play. His style of play reminds me where I feel like Milroe, at times can be a little erratic too. Similarly to Richardson, I think, you see how
Milroe's going to be like a Jacoby Brissett. Anthony Richardson is a poor man's Cam Newton.
Ooh, I would have said he's more like RG3.
No way. He's bigger, more powerful. Like, he's a big guy, Anthony Richardson, but I just don't think he has like the skill or like the consistency. Yeah, he's just not. He's not. Yeah, finesse is.
He's raw talent, freak size, freak speed, freak arm strength. But if you can't throw a ball accurately, I'm not going to
stay healthy.
Yeah, and that's honestly the biggest thing. I think the Colts missed. I think this is equivalent to an RG3 type pick, meaning that his career is going to be pretty much. I mean, I think the Colts right now are underdogs this week. I know we're going to talk NFL, but I think they are undervalued as underdogs with Flacco as a quarterback. I think the Colts would be better with Flacco at their quarterback.
100%.
I agree
just
with
like the
that.
Browns were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But
Yep.
so Tyler, can I stay on the realms of our conversation right there about Milroe real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Because I have one other thing to recap, and then we'll
So-
jump into some games this week. But go ahead.
So if you had to pick from these four right now and give them a Heisman, who would you give it to? Travis Hunter from Colorado, Ashton Jaunty, Boise State, and then Jalen Milroe, Alabama, or Cam Ward, Miami. If those are your top four finalists, who are you taking right now as the Heisman?
Nico.
No, he wasn't an option.
I know, I'm just kidding.
It was not an option.
I mean, the guy from Boise obviously is statistically a freak, which would be awesome, but it won't last. They'll lose games. He won't be up there. As much as great as it would be, I would say Milroe at this point.
But they have a legit shot at being the 12 seed, don't they? The highest ranked
right. But I'm just, I'm saying, I'm saying from a Heisman standpoint, you lose a game or two, like you drop completely.
But at what point do your insane stats make up for that?
Maybe this is the year with the new playoff system. I don't know. I would love to see that,
because I understand what you're saying, Tyler. In a tight race, if it's between two guys that are like neck and neck, you obviously got to give it to the guy that's more successful in the team. But he's putting up like 275 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I know.
Can I point something out? The Heisman winner last year. How many games did LSU lose?
That's true.
But he put up freak stats. Like Jaden Daniels, LSU was not. They weren't a playoff team last year. Remember, they lost week 1, if you recall. I believe Florida State. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you want to talk about freak stats? This guy's got in 4 games over 800 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Yeah,
and you're a running back. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, I just think. I think you're right in the sense of right now. I think that guy's the Heisman. I think he's the Heisman winner. If I'm giving it to next week, I'm giving it to him right now.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I know it's way too early. I know it's not next week.
I'll probably give it to Cam Ward.
Yeah, damn.
Just because
they should have lost.
I agree with that, Tyler. They gave him a win.
He transferred from Washington State. Just to clarify, okay. Yep. Shout out Jay Mills. All right.
Go ahead.
I just think almost 1,800 passing yards, 18 passing touchdowns, up a rating of 195. I know they don't really go by rating, and he's playing against, he's doing against better teams than Boise State is, I should say. Mm-hmm. Like Tyler said, he was handed a win this last week. They deserved to lose that game, but he's still performing. And I think if he continues it, I don't know how you don't give it to him. And that's where I think he's putting up just as comparable numbers at his position than Jaunty. I don't know how to say his name. Jaunty.
I think it's Jaunty.
Jaunty, which is actually a sick name. What he's doing is incredible, but Cam Ward at quarterback position is also doing something incredible. And his team's ranked. They're 5-0. They're playing big name schools. So that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, if Cam Ward falls off and he has a really bad game, 130 yards and no touchdowns, and sure, I think Jaunty would jump him.
Mm-hmm. Wait till we find out it's not Jaunty and we just call him Jaunty all night. That'd be funny as hell.
Tyler, watch it be like Heenty, like a silent J.
with a H sound.
Yeah.
No, the only other thing I did want to mention here before we talk about some games this week was Oklahoma has a baller at that quarterback that they just brought in, that Hawkins Jr. guy.
Yeah, freshman. Yeah.
True freshman, Hawkins Jr. And I'll tell you what, man, that kid puts his body on the line every play, man. I think I've seen him do like 3 flips in 2 games, diving for the end zone. So I'm not saying he'd be a Heisman guy this year, but I'm saying keep an eye on him, because if Oklahoma sticks with him throughout the rest of this year and even into next year, I think he'll be a pretty good football player, somebody to keep an eye on. Oklahoma has produced a lot of successful quarterbacks in the past. So just something to keep an eye on there. So I know different system, different team, but
we talked about this, the universities that like produce the best positions.
Yeah.
I think Cal produced the best for quarterback, at least. They had Kyle Bowler, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff.
Why'd you start with Kyle Bowler?
Well, he was good in college. He was good in college.
Should have started. You should have started with
NFL.
Rodgers.
Who else though? They had a couple other guys too. Big
Jared
NFL
Goff,
guy.
Rodgers.
Oh
I couldn't tell you another Cal quarterback from life.
Sorry, that was off topic, but
let's segue that with with that quarterback, we could go right into that game.
Well, I just want to, before we go into the games, I just want to talk about how my love for college football over NFL, right? The unexpectedness of teams doing well, and it's not just always the same ones, right? Indiana 5-0, first time since 1967. UNLV 4-0, first time since 1978. Duke, yes, they just beat Carolina. 5-0 since 94. Trey, you were just a newborn. Yeah. Iowa State 4-0, 2000. Pitt 4-0, 2000. Rutgers 4-0, 2012. And then Navy 4-0 since 2017. And let me add this little sprinkle there. Navy and Army being both 4-0 at the same time since 1945. So lots of
war, huh?
Little undefeated. I know it's super early. Some of these teams played some, hey, let's pay some teams money, polish it up games. But there's also been a lot of those teams are playing good football. So especially service academies.
JMU was getting paid, and they beat North Carolina.
They scored 70 on them.
Yeah, they embarrassed them. It was like,
all right. Well, hey, I'm going to get into some top games here. I'm going to kind of literally just go by the schedule here with some top 25. If there's some smaller league games you guys want to chime in with as well, all right, we can talk about those. But the first one I wanted to, just to kind of briefly talk about, because obviously Trey being a Penn State fan, all right, it's nice to talk about your team a little bit. But this is really the, matchup with UCLA this week. Kind of getting that new Pac-12 competition involved. I do find it interesting that they're making I guess it's two different teams. I was going to say I thought Penn State, but Penn State stays at home, but then next week they do travel to USC out there in California, so that'll be interesting. But UCLA Penn State game, Penn State's heavily favored at -28, which seems pretty steep. Want a beer bet?
Take it. Take -28.
Here he goes.
They probably will cover this time.
What are you saying, Ty? UCLA's awful.
I'm not saying they're not awful.
Illinois was good. 18 was way too much to give Illinois, in my opinion. Clean weather. UCLA is not a very good football team. First time head coach that was kind of thrown into it. I believe it's Arian Foster. No.
It's
Deshaun Foster.
Yeah.
Sean Foster. Almost Arian Foster. He would be injured by now.
Arian Foster.
Deshaun Foster is the head coach, thrown into it. Didn't even know what to say at Media Day, I believe it was. Big Ten Media Day. That was kind of awkward.
That was bad.
Saw that video. But I think Penn State shuts them out. I think it ends up being either 35-0 or at the very most 35-3. And hell, I might even throw 42 points up there for Penn State. So
okay.
And I'm not saying that to be an a-hole or anything. I'm just being honest. I looked at that game and I like -28, to be honest.
Don't be an a-hole.
So just trying to be appropriate. So.
Oh man. Trey, any input on that?
I don't think UCLA's a good team. I think Penn State beats them pretty handily. Hopefully, God knows, but I don't know about the spread. That I don't have any input on.
Okay. Just don't fear the big numbers sometimes. I think we fear the big numbers.
I don't fear the big numbers.
Sometimes.
Sometimes Penn State has a tendency to play down to who they play.
Yeah.
Because every time I take a big number, I get screwed.
Really?
Like I feel like every time I've taken a big number, I'm like, oh, for sure they'll kill them. And the other team wins or something. Like something crazy every single time.
That's like, if you like the spread, you could that's what I love about college football is you can tease the line, like buy a 1.5, buy 2 points, and you can still get pretty good odds. So
Tease that B.
no, the juice.
What?
Not a juicy B. Sorry.
Yeah,
Just saying like the odds.
Oh, what are you
Get your
saying?
minds out of
I
the
don't know what you're
gutter.
thinking about.
All right. You guys have any games you just want me to kind of rattle them off here?
Well, I
Round
have
off.
lots of picks, but you rattle whatever game you want
All
to
right.
talk about.
Well, I mean, I have almost all the top 25 in there, but Missouri, Texas A&M will be an interesting one. I do think Missouri handled business there. I know Missouri is Trent's national champion. They did slide a little bit.
Were they my national champions?
Yeah, it was definitely Missouri.
No, it was Missouri versus. Now I don't remember my darn pick. Darn it! I'm pretty sure they were just Oregon was my national champion tie.
Okay, against Missouri.
Oregon versus Missouri.
Against Missouri, though.
Yeah.
Yes, against
Okay.
Missouri. Yes.
You're a Missouri, huh, Trey? Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri.
I'm Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Missouri too.
Missouri.
Sorry, it's Missouri.
A game I would keep an eye on. I know.
Hold on, real quick. Is it Louisville or Louisville?
No, it's Louisville and it's Bison. I hate when they say Bison.
Go ahead, Pat. Sorry.
Ole Miss, South Carolina. I know last week I did tell you guys about Kentucky playing Ole Miss, and what happened? South Carolina is another one of those teams. I know Missouri. I know Ole Miss is obviously coming off of a loss. Not a good loss either. It was a pretty bad loss. So I don't know if they're going to be playing with a vengeance, but it is in South Carolina. So that's something to keep an eye on. Right now, that spread is South Carolina plus 8.5, which I kind of like. I do, again, I think Ole Miss will win, but I think South Carolina is probably going to play them a little bit tough. South Carolina, a lot like Kentucky, where you got to figure out what team is going to show up. So depending on what team shows up, they could at least give Ole Miss a little bit of a game, depending on the attitude that the Ole Miss team brings out after a pretty bad loss against Kentucky. So that's a game I'm keeping an eye on for sure. And I know, I believe, did I have Ole Miss winning it this year, I think, in my bracket? But as a volunteer fan, I would love nothing more than to just see good old Lane Kiffin continue to get his rear end kicked. Still hold that grudge.
Kicking.
Wow.
Yep. Still hold that grudge.
I kind of got the sense that you liked Ole Miss. I'm a little surprised at this.
So I like to bet on Ole Miss.
And you still don't like Lane
like
Kiffin, even how funny he is. Like,
he is funny.
Nah, he's still pissing me off. I think he needs to focus and stop doing TikTok videos. That's why your team's losing to Kentucky.
Did you ever see his new girlfriend or fiance, whatever she is?
Yeah.
She's like a student.
That's weird.
Easy there, Les Miles.
That's weird.
She looks like a student.
Yeah, so Ole Miss, South Carolina is the game I'm watching. Trent, you'd already talked about Indiana being a streaking team right now. They're a fun team to watch. Keep an eye on them.
Minus 13.5. Take it, Northwestern.
Nebraska and Rutgers I brought up just because, Trent, I know you're a Nebraska fan this year.
Yeah.
Rutgers is a tough team, though. So this is a game to keep an eye on. I'm pretty sure Nebraska was, I think, minus 8.5 earlier in the week when I looked and was making the schedule discussions. Seemed a little steep for me.
It's down to 7.
Is it down to 7? So okay, so it opened at 8.5, which, like I said, pretty steep, but just something to keep an eye on. I think Tennessee is going to handle business with Arkansas. I don't have a ton to say. Next week is down with the Gators for Tennessee. So
Swamp.
Nothing like Tennessee, Florida playing the day before my son's birthday.
Oh,
so,
is it in Florida?
You don't have. I'll get this. I'll get the stat guys on that quick, but yeah. So couple. I think that might have been it in terms of the teams that I had. But I did bring up Miami Cal. Game days being held at Cal. Should be interesting. Cal losing to Florida State last week was real shitty for them. So
yeah.
Wait,
I don't.
Wasn't that 2 weeks ago?
No, it was this past week.
I thought SMU hammered Florida State this past week.
No. Maybe.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
So it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
SMU killed
But
Florida.
Florida State did beat Cal.
Yes, that was
right, because I
win.
know the discussion was, is Cal, real or not, and
Yeah.
obviously we found that out.
I would like that's a recap just to put it out there. The fact that Florida State sued the ACC for letting SMU in, and then SMU goes out and embarrasses their asses.
Good.
Like, what a great revenge! Yeah. Like that just is like, I love that. I love it.
It actually leads me into my picks for college football.
Let's go, Trey.
Tennessee is in Florida next week,
which is the first.
Or sorry, one. in Tennessee. In Tennessee, I'm sorry.
SMU plus 6.5. It's at Louisville. I think both teams are kind of similar in the way they play, so I think it'll be a good game, pretty high scoring. But I think SMU, they just look good, and they're on another level right now. Louisville just dropped on a Notre Dame. It was tough, so maybe they'll come back pretty hot, but we'll see. I like SMU getting points. 6.5, I think, is a lot, too, for that game. Tennessee, Tyler, you mentioned it. I think they smack Arkansas. I think they're just going to continue to roll, and hopefully they do, because they look like a team that could honestly win the whole thing. Last one, I think Clemson hands it to Florida State in a statement game, just kind of kicks them while they're down. Dabo is still trying to get not his name back, but earn his respect back, I guess, in the college football world, because he gets a lot of flack for not using the portal, staying true to his values, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder after week one and all the flack he got. So those are my 3 college football picks.
Dude, hey, let's just put it out there. I mean, Dabo turned it around once he learned how to use multi-screen on YouTube TV. Maybe any of you guys hear that interview? Or,
No,
he's like, "Oh man, I got on the tablet thing. I had 4 games on at one time, and my kid showed me how to use this multi-view, and I could watch all 4. And there's like 4 teams we play. It was kind of funny, but
that is funny.
I like Trey. I'm on I think a couple of those picks there. I love Clemson. The fact you have them at 14 there.
Yeah,
they jumped up right now to 15. I got Tennessee. Tennessee to cover at least 2 touchdowns. I don't know. The SMU one kind of scares me, because I just Louisville's a team that I can never figure out, because I feel like they play
ever. I can't either.
Yeah. So I just think I do whatever the over is. Yeah, tons of points there all around. I think it's just gonna be one of those like crazy like 50-something to 40-something style games, which I will definitely have on my screen because I love offense and lots of points. Other games that I'm on. So I already said Tennessee, Clemson. I like. I know they struggled this past week, but I think they're now being undervalued after getting their butts kicked. I like Central Florida money line to beat Florida. Get them for -135. I love Indiana -13.5 at Northwestern. Northwestern is still playing in their makeshift stadium, I believe. So it's not even like a true home field advantage. I think Indiana is just that much better. Cincinnati is the man. Awesome T-shirts out there if you haven't seen them. They're like marble red, designed, and it's pretty awesome. Cool. I like Georgia -22 versus Auburn. Pitt money line at North Carolina. I think they're coming off a bye. They're starting running back. I want to say it's Hammond, who was ruled ineligible at the start of the season, is now eligible to play. Nobody knows why he's all of a sudden eligible, but hey, they're going to play him. Why not? They're undefeated. They got a chance to make a run at the ACC. And then I know this is a tough one, but I am all about this team the rest of this year. And Navy -10.
You're going to say it.
It's just the only thing that scares me is it is a armed forces game, meaning Navy versus Air Force. Air Force is bad.
Is that what it means when you say armed forces? You got the military.
I think it's like one of the branches, Tyler.
Oh,
against each other.
I'm
just thinking funny. It scares me because it's an armed forces game.
Okay. No shit. Well, because but they play so tough against each other is what I'm saying.
No,
so like
I know it's just funny.
I think Air Force is terrible, but they might get up emotionally to give them a game. But Navy,
Is that a flight joke?
no. I have a sinking feeling that Navy's going to win. But anyway,
I don't think they'll be able to take off.
Anyway, Navy runs the sling T offense. I don't know if you're picking up on this, but most of the best offenses that are out there right now have wing T backbone at major programs. So, Tyler, I know we don't like seeing that against your defense, but
it's a fun trend. All right. I'll rattle mine off real quick. I got Missouri plus 2.5 against A&M. I am taking South Carolina plus 8.5 against Ole Miss. I'm on the Clemson bandwagon with you guys as well. I have minus 15. I'm definitely going to seek out 14.5 though, if I can get that.
Yeah, I had to jump over the day because I got it this morning at 14.
Okay. Tennessee minus 14 is minus 105. It's one of those odds. Whenever I see minus 105, that's usually a game that I'm going to take because I don't know, for some reason I just have good luck with those odds. Tennessee minus 14, I like. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Washington money line. I think right now having Michigan as a dog is kind of an obvious pick for everybody. So I feel like it's a trap. So therefore, I'm going to take Washington because Washington's at home. Just seems it's one of those. I guess I'll name it after Trey because Trey likes to call them fishy lions.
It is fishy.
All right. I like under 49.5 Minnesota USC. I got Tulane minus 17. I got JMU. What? Well, hold on. JMU at ULM, I have over 48. JMU has been on a freaking tear offensively. They might score 48 themselves. And then Texas Tech. I told you guys that I pick a team that I'm sticking with. I'm still going to bet them. I am not taking the money line this week. However, they are a pretty steep dog against Arizona. So I am going to take Texas Tech plus 6.5 though. So I give them 2 games. If they don't cover this week, I'll still bet them again next week in some fashion. I'm not saying I'm going to take the spread or money line every week, but I like to bet a team in some way to kind of get an attachment of some sort. So Texas Tech, that team, now that Coastal Carolina kind of left me in the dark there the last couple of weeks. So
I'll tell you who's not that team Navy for me.
Yeah. What's that, Trey?
Mine is definitely not Oklahoma State.
No, it's not. I went back when we talked about it in our text the other day. I went back and looked. You had only made them your pick twice.
I know, but I bet them a lot, and they suck.
I'm pretty sure you had them in your playoff.
I did. I absolutely did. I had them as one of my top 4 seeds winning the Big 12.
Yeah, that might have been why I thought you picked them so many times, but
maybe it was because of the playoff thing.
Yeah, that's right.
They're pathetic.
That might be why. All right. Anything else here, college football wise? You guys ready to quickly jump into some NFL?
Let's get into it.
Can I?
All right.
Yeah. Can I kind of? I mean, I don't know how much do we need to recap, or do we just want to talk about headlines right now?
I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 5 quick headlines to talk about. They're not long headlines, but go ahead.
I have 3.
Go ahead. I'm sure we doubled up in some.
Probably. The first one is obviously my favorite team, and I'll just be short and sweet with it, not to be long-winded, but good riddance, Devontae Adams.
I did have that on there.
I'm just sick of all these
wide receivers.
Yeah, highly paid prima donna wide receivers that as soon as the going gets tough, they get going. Or sorry, they get injured. Oops, those are supposed to be angry balloons. Sorry. But anyway,
the black balloons,
but seriously, to sit out and then to try to make it AP's issue when then they find out AP only started doing this once he came to them after he requested a trade. So screw him and his in-home Taco Bell stand. But you know what? I'm going to put it out there because some Raiders fans out there will say, well, we failed in the sense of, we got rid of Derek Carr and then we didn't bring a quarterback for him. But you want to know, and I don't accept it's this era or whatnot, but Tim Brown had some of the worst quarterbacks throwing to him.
And he was the third wide receiver all time there for a long time.
And that's what I mean. He just sat there, grinded, took care of his business, made sure he was the best possible. And look, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. And you know what? I don't buy the excuse of, well, it's a different day and age. Bullshit. A different day and age where you can just sit out because your hamstring's sore and then pout because, I need this, I want that. I want things to be easy for me. You know what? Just move on. I'm ready to get what we can get, and hopefully we can get enough. I know you're not going to get crazy value for him, but hopefully we can get enough.
Give me real quick, Trent. Hey, on the spot, Trent. Give me one team he goes to. Trey, get ready because I'm coming to you next. One team he goes to. I know there's a bunch, but what team he goes to?
Gosh, he's listed like 75.
I know. Which team is he going to? Just one.
I'm gonna take yours. I won't say it.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Trey, do you know off the top of your head right now?
I mean, I know who he said, and I have an idea of who I think, but
I think what ends up happening is he goes to the Niners straight up for Ayuk. I think the Niners are done with Ayuk.
Wow, that's not what I was going to say.
Okay, well that's what I say.
I don't think that either.
I say he goes to the Saints. Trey?
Wow, I thought one of you guys would say the Chiefs.
Absolutely not.
I think he's going to go to the Ravens.
Ooh. That'd be interesting.
I like that. Actually,
because I think
can I tell you? No, because they don't need a tight end. I was going to say, yeah. I was going to say
you're going to say Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews and a second-round pick because the Raiders want a second-round pick and other compensation.
I'd give up Andrews because Isaiah Likely looks like the guy there.
Agreed. And I would normally take Mark Andrews, but I'm not going to take him because we have, I think, two pretty good tight ends right now.
So
they're young.
The other team that I thought was the favorite was the Jets.
Yeah, that's the Jets. I've seen the Jets a lot. I've also seen the Saints just because of the quarterback situation. So
what about the Bills?
The what? The Bills.
Bills.
Do they have anything to give up?
I don't know. What'd they get for Stephon Diggs?
I don't know.
Not much.
Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Devontae Adams, obviously a big headline. Probably seeing the last of him. I saw he is not playing this week again because of hamstring, which we all know that's probably not true.
My biggest fear, guys, is I hope the Crosby injury is not the same ordeal.
I doubt it.
That will devastate me.
Yeah, no, he doesn't seem like that type of guy.
I think the other. I mean, we already talked on this, so we don't have to touch on it a ton because I think we're all in agreement. But as I have Flacco's Colts up there, as I think you're definitely going to see a better looking Colts team. Yeah. Again, we don't have to talk about that because we already talked about it. The Vikings.
Yeah,
dude, I am eating crow. Is that the saying?
I don't know.
Eating crow, like you're eating your words.
I think that means eat shit, Tyler. I'm eating shit.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No, it doesn't. You guys are full of shit. It's definitely eating crow.
You're definitely full of shit because you're eating it. That's awesome. He's Googling it. Like, what does, hey Siri, what does mean?
Humiliation by admitting having been proven wrong after taking a strong position.
Okay.
Yeah, I was right. So eating crow.
But Siri actually heard me. To admit one is wrong or accept one has been defeated.
See? All right. So I'm eating crow on the Vikings because I dogged the hell out of them at the beginning of the year. I'm like, who do they even have? They're all injured. They're awful. And Sam Darnold is impressive.
Yes. Yeah, and you're like, this is my other thing that I want to talk about is the QB revival, man. Like Sam Darnold looks phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie, like, he looks good. And then the other one that I think one of you two were really not high on the Bucks paying Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield looks.
I'm not eating crow on that one.
Yeah, I'll eat some crow.
He looks. Yeah,
you eating shit now?
I don't know why I was saying Trey's eating a pigeon over there, but
no, it's a crow, not a pigeon.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying we're eating birds and stuff, but
only if they're real.
Yeah.
But anyway, QB revival was something I had down in my notes with Darnold, and then Mayfield, and then Flacco's getting another year in. So I love it. I mean, I think it's crazy. I think the Vikings 2 years ago were this kind of like fake, really good record, and then they lost right away in the playoffs. But I don't get as much fake this year with them. Like I think they're a good football team.
They're clicking on all cylinders, and the fact they got Addison back now.
Yeah.
Right, Trent?
Yeah, whatever, Ty. I don't care. We drafted your loser of a running back who's out for the rest
Christian McCaffrey's a loser. That's right. Christian McCaffrey's a loser.
Just got both. Wait, this just
horrible football player.
Both legs amputated. Sorry.
Shut up.
Yeah, sorry.
I have a headline that I'd like to touch on. Not necessarily a headline, just it could be a storyline coming here in the next few weeks, and that's just the Eagles in general.
I had that Sirianni on the hot seat for sure,
man.
I'm gonna buy this week, though.
And just the lack of like accountability from everyone on the team too, and maybe except for Jalen Hurts, because I know he's always in the locker room saying the right things and stuff. But how long do people listen to you and take your words seriously when you're turning the ball over all the time and costing your team the big drives, big games? That being said, Darius Slay going to Twitter.
Dude, bad luck.
Right after the game, talking about, make sure you mention my all pros and my career stats when you talk about me. And it's like, dude, you just got burned bad, and you're going to get on Twitter and talk yourself up. And then
that's the world we live in is
right.
It's just me. It's not. I don't care about
the last thing that was the Nick Sirianni's spin zone that he put on when asked about Saquon Barkley's touches. Saquon Barkley touched the ball 12 total times, 3 times in the first 4 drives. And his answer to that was, well, all those drives we had 3rd and long, so I'm not going to obviously give him the ball on those, so take away 4 plays. And then he at least touched the ball on one of those other downs on each of those drives. And it's like, dude, what?
Horrible.
You're trying to justify the lack of touches that you gave your actual best player.
Yeah, you gotta own it. You gotta say,
right?
You're
right. We got to get him the ball more. You can't fight that, and it is just such a bad look. And I don't see them getting better or taking the next step until he's gone. I really don't.
Saquon Barkley should touch the ball over 25 times a game,
at least.
I'm not saying run the ball 25 times. Maybe he runs the ball 25 times.
Screens,
but he needs to touch the ball. He needs to touch the ball at least 25 times a game. When somebody like Jordan Mason is running the ball 28 times a game,
right?
Okay, who's an undrafted player, and you have one of the top, if not right now, the top running back in the league, touching the ball 12 times in a game, you have an issue.
And it's not like he's not successful when they give him the ball. He's overly successful. So
he scored 3 touchdowns week 1. He had 3 touchdowns in week 1.
I just don't get it. And then he got asked about it and defends it and argues, and I'm like, dude, that is just so. It's bad. It's childish, and I don't know how he still has a job.
Yeah, well, I think he's
right there. It was Trey. Right there, it was childish.
Yeah.
His quarterback's more mature than he is.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
That's 100%. No.
So
hey, one other. Go ahead.
Who do you name as the interim when he's fired?
Vrabel.
Oh no, he's not.
Oh, interim.
It
wouldn't be Fangio. I think he's done. I think it's going to be what's his name?
Kellen
Moore. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Interim.
I think that's why they brought him in, guys.
Oh,
unless they give it to Fangio just because he's got the experience. But
I was gonna say, I thought with Fangio's experience as a head coach, I would have thought, Oh
That
no.
didn't look good for him.
Freaking
He's all right.
hell. He's all right. Just a little scary. Sorry. Baker Mayfield just
Baker
had
Mayfield.
an ugly hit on fourth down. But I feel like, Trey, I get what you're saying, because it's like, why not give the young guy a chance? Maybe it's like his dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it would make more sense to go. It would be safer to take Fangio, but I don't know.
I think it'd be Fangio. I don't know. But that's well, and to kind of stick with that same division there, I'll tell you what, best team in that division right now looks like Dan Quinn's Washington team. Dude, and I'm not saying it's Jaden Daniels. I'm saying that is Dan Quinn getting the guys to play ball. Dan Quinn's a good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, he is a great coach. And I'll tell you what, you may see Michael Parsons in Washington. If that's the case.
He'll be an Eagle before he gets there.
Not the way the Eagles look. If I'm Michael Parsons right now, I'm going to play for my defensive coordinator that is now the head coach in Washington.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Yeah.
They got a lot of talent, and Dan Quinn is a heck of a player's coach.
On the theme of Washington, it doesn't get talked about enough. The absolute downfall of Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, where is he? Where is he now?
He's in college. I think he's coaching at some not big school. And I don't think they're doing too well either. So just I know he coached he's a coordinator for the Commanders for like a year or two, but
Washington, we don't call them the Commanders.
Oh yeah. Hey, guess where he's at? Offensive coordinator, UCLA.
Okay.
We just talked about how bad they were.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, that was just a little side blurb. Yeah. But I think that gets forgotten.
Couple of big games that we can kind of move into this week now, unless you guys have anything else.
I have one other thing. Is just we got to admit, with these double Monday Night Football games, there was a clear better game to watch this past week. Holy hell!
Oh, yeah.
But I just want to comment on Lions football. I think the Lions are still so entertaining, and I think they
actually looked like they were clicking again.
Yeah.
The first couple of games, I felt like they looked like the old Lions, and I felt like this game they actually looked like a team that had some fight in them and some determination. I mean, heck, Jared Goff went 18 for 18.
Yeah, that's where I was heading. Golf, perfect game. I thought it was a hilarious interview afterwards when the media's like, what did you think of Jared's perfect game? And Campbell's like, what do you mean perfect game? He was 18 for 18. He goes, well, how I feel about it is really bad because I just gave some other guy the game ball.
Yeah.
So I thought that was hilarious. But also, mark it up there. Jared Goff, more touchdowns than quite a lot of big names here. More touchdowns than Kelsey, receiving touchdowns. Mark Andrews, Sam Laporta, Brandon Ayuk, and Jalen Waddle. So
that's pretty funny. Waddle hasn't scored yet either, huh?
No. And what's real sad is I have two of those guys in two of my fantasy leagues, Andrews and Ayuk, and they have yet to score a touchdown. So
yeah. Kind of touching back, the Vikings, I know we talked about their surging right now, but Darnold's going back to town. Going back against his old team, the Jets, this week.
Just say, what, is he from London?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that he's going back to play the Jets this week. That'll be an interesting. I mean, I think it's a completely different Sam Darnold than what he started out as.
Revenge tour. Already got revenge on the Niners.
They may
take down the Jets.
They may hang a ton of points there on the Jets because I don't know, man.
He ignored me.
Me?
No, Tyler did. I said the revenge tour took down the Niners, gonna take down the Jets. All he's got to do is take down the Panthers because don't forget him and Baker Mayfield were Panthers quarterbacks.
Right.
Yeah. But so Vikings, Jets, interesting. Ravens, Bengals interest me a little bit. That was my pick this week in one of the polls. I did pick the Ravens to beat the Bengals. I still think that if the Bengals lose, I really think Zach Taylor needs to be evaluated as a continued head coach. I think he's a good coach, but you can't start like this every year and expect to have success. Like, you can't constantly be playing catch up. I think the Bills got a little bit exposed last week from the Ravens, but I don't know. The Bills early on, the Bills were like unstoppable, which again, I was eating crow because I was like, oh, the Bills are going to be terrible. Yeah. And they were just clicking on all cylinders, and then they looked like they forgot how to play football again. So
Derrick Henry had a freakish game. It's the NFL.
Yeah.
199 yards rushing.
The Bills got a tough game this week. They play the Texans. So it'll be Texans. What?
I think, sorry. They suck against the spread. They're 0-4. Sorry.
Okay. Well, yeah, but they're 3-1?
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry.
Texans suck. I'm pretty sure they lost one game.
They suck at covering, I should say. I'm sorry. Good teams win, great teams cover. They're not great right now.
It's true.
Dude, I'd say NFL in terms of picking spreads and shit. You're better off. You're better off taking an alternate in some fashion. It might be a point or 2 points, either way, in a spread or in a team total, because the way some of these games go, it is so damn close that you can't help but just like sit there and think, how are they this damn close?
Yeah.
So I am firmly on. I love, the books and stuff that post the alternate lines that still have decent odds. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But yeah, it's insane. It's insane lately. But picks, games.
Yep,
What we got here?
I got my picks ready to roll.
Yeah. I have one, maybe two picks this week right now that I like, but yeah, I'll let you start, Trent.
I like the start it's actually my pick in a suicide pool this week is Packers. Packers, I got them for -3 tonight versus the Rams. They're all right. They're gonna be all right.
Can't call it a suicide pool, Trent. You just got canceled.
What do you call it?
Just survivor pool.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I'm joking.
Oh,
canceled. We'll have to edit that out, Tyler.
Jeez Louise. All right. Anyway.
Sorry, start over again. I wasn't paying attention because I got distracted by your cancel culture thing.
Packers -3.
Okay.
I think Chiefs at home Monday night -5.5. I think they'll put one on the Saints. I like Vikings money line versus the Jets. It is in London, so that's a little tough, but I hate that. And then I hate the games in London. But and then the last one is, once again, I'm waiting to see because it's at +100 right now, so probably gonna wait till it goes up another half a point. Is Colts +2.5 versus the Jaguars, because I think Joe Flacco is better than Trevor Lawrence.
Did they name a starter? Is Flacco the starter this week?
Oh shoot!
It doesn't matter.
I am
basing. They said Richardson could be fine.
Yeah.
Can I tell you why it doesn't matter?
Because
Doug Peterson still has a fucking job. That is insane.
I think Trevor Lawrence is bad.
I don't care who it is. How do you keep that coach? What has he done for you to have any faith in him? In the last 5 years, sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's insane. I'll give my picks, Tyler, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Trent, I'm with you. Really, the only best bet I have of the week is the Packers. I got them when they were 3.5, so I'll take them at 3 because that's what I'm seeing them at 2 now. But I think the last week was kind of ugly, especially the first half. It looked disastrous, but towards the end there, we had a fighting chance, the Packers, to come back and actually win that game. And Jordan Love finally, that last quarter, looked like how he did before he got injured. So if he can keep that up and carry that over, I think the Packers should beat them pretty handedly, especially with how banged up the Rams are. So yeah, I like -3 there. The other game I like is this one kind of seems fishy to me too, is the Commanders -3 at home. I just don't think the Browns are good until they get Nick Chubb back, who can actually they can rely on But the Commanders are hot. They're scoring a lot of points. Jaden Daniels looks like a player that teams haven't figured out yet, and they might not figure out this year. So I'm going to ride the hot hand and at home. So those are my 2 bets for the NFL.
It is funny because like I go through college football and I'm like, oh yeah, definitely betting that, going on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like, and I'm not saying they always win, but at the same time, college football. I know we talked about it before. Like I just feel like there's more of a chance.
Yeah.
In college football. In the NFL, I'm just like, oh boy.
Yeah.
How many penalties are gonna be called?
What kicker is gonna miss a chip shot field goal to not cover the half-point spread for the Cowboys?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like going through and I'm like super tentative. And it's like you go to click one and you're like, no.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple here. So I am the Washington game against the Browns. I'm taking Washington Commanders over 21.5 team total. Just because they are, it's the odds are okay right now in DraftKings. It's minus 148. I'm taking Patriots money line against the Dolphins. It's in New England. I think
I like that a lot.
Dolphins look like garbage until they can figure out how to actually distribute the ball to anybody.
Hot garbage. Holy hell.
Hot, stinky garbage.
Yeah.
So McDaniel better figure this shit. I know he's doing his third quarterback. He better figure his shit out quick because that ain't gonna fly that long. If you literally, what's that?
No, go ahead. Finish up and then I'll tell you guys.
No, I was just gonna say if you can't figure it out here, I don't care how many quarterbacks you're down. You better get your offense doing something. You have a lot of talent out there, and you're missing your quarterback, but like, holy shit, figure it out quickly.
So my fiance, we were in the car the other day and we were talking about football and just like because she like watches it too and she's at work sometimes. And she said, you know which coach I think is very attractive? Probably the most attractive in the league, she said.
Who's that?
Any guesses?
Matt Patricia.
No.
What? Just
Head coach. Head coach. I'll just tell you guys if you don't have a guess.
Yeah, I have no clue.
It's Mike McDaniel. Isn't that funny? That's what I said.
A little dweeby guy.
That's what I said. I go, he's like kind of like
sense.
a little dorky.
I was just going to say, it totally makes sense.
She has a type.
Okay. Wow, man. I just set myself up so bad for that.
Yeah, I was like, are you serious right now?
Damn, I should have said someone really cool.
Sit back there in your tie-dye shirt there, sir.
Andy Reid.
Dan Campbell.
Jerry.
Andy Reid.
Shoot. No, I thought that was funny because that's not someone you hear. You hear like Sean McVay or LaFleur or
Trey's naming all the guys he thinks are cute.
Okay.
Teach their own, Trey.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
Wow.
All right. So over 21.5 Washington Patriots money line. I'm going Seattle minus 6.5 against the Giants. It's in Seattle. 6.5 seems pretty light for that game because I hate the Seahawks, but I'll tell you what, even though they were down to the Lions, they fought. I mean, they fought back pretty tough, so I think they're a tough team. And then last one. I don't think so. You think he's doubtful right now?
Then yeah, I definitely like that.
I like Seattle.
And then I got the Ravens money line against the Bengals. So
that's tough, Tyler. Away.
Yeah, shut up because that's my pick 'em in my Survivor poll, Trey.
You took the Ravens over the Bengals in the Survivor poll. Almost messed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
It's all right. It's cool, man.
We'll see. Yeah, so those are my 4 picks. Yeah.
I like them, fellas.
Yeah, I'm kind of regretting that Ravens pick in the Survivor poll. I panicked.
This is the week where I'm
no regrets.
Good. Pretty sure the Raiders are on like an 8 or 9 game win streak versus the Broncos, and they're picked to lose against them. So
the Broncos, dude, what the hell is going on with them? Like that's such bullshit.
It annoys me. But
hey, this is completely aside, but real quick before we get off here, I did forget one college game. I think UCF beats Florida this week.
That was
That
my
was one
money.
of Trent's picks.
I said
Did you
one
say
of
that? Okay.
Mhm.
I had that down here. I forgot to mention it because keep an eye out for Florida's coach. Get going there. Might see Urban Meyer come back in the swamp down there.
Yeah, no way. No way.
Hey, just watch, dude. He's an urban legend.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I don't know.
Wasn't
After all the Netflix specials about how crazy that group was, I don't know. Florida.
He's got some dirty fingers.
Hey, and guess what? All the Netflix specials, and guess what they did? They won championships. If you're a Florida Gators fan, you want Urban Meyer back, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
He was your
I
guy.
guess.
You would really fire Napier the week before your biggest rival. Like, that's tough.
Maybe not this week, but if they don't do anything against Tennessee, and I think Tennessee mops the floor with them.
Wow.
Tennessee just has to stay completely focused. Nico just has to play his game, and Tennessee's gonna be all right because they have a lot of big games coming up. Hey,
right.
Red River game next week too.
Say that quick. Red River rivalry.
I couldn't say it, so that's why I just said game.
Yeah. Imagine if you were doing some actual pop tops, you would just struggle with that.
Nope, just good old cranberry Canada Dry over here.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Man,
moved. Man, how many different types of ginger ale do you have over there?
What the hell's next? Is there any other brands?
7-Up.
No.
7-Up. That's
7-Up's not a
ginger ale.
ginger ale.
What else is there?
It's like its own soda. It's like Dr. Pepper.
I don't even know. There's Canada Dry and Schweppes. And,
A&W.
No.
A-Tree.
A-Tree.
Yeah.
It's probably like some sort of like, I think there's a Shasta ginger ale that's out there. It's really like, yeah.
I don't think so.
It's probably called
I will
like,
bet you, Tyler. You know
Shasta?
why? I'll bet you it's called Shasta because our school gives it to kids when their stomachs hurt.
Shasta.
Yes.
Schweppes, Canada Dry. Seagram's.
how do we
that's
forget
funny.
Seagram's?
Look up Shasta, I'm telling you. Anyway. It's a real thing.
That's like let's see.
It's a real thing, I'm telling you.
I don't know any of the other ones.
Main Root, Dr. Brown's.
I know Fever Tree. They make ginger beer.
It's like
not seeing Shasta anywhere here. Verner's.
Yes, there it is. Shasta ginger ale. And it's the exact can right there. It's the exact can, that little mini can.
Okay, hold on a second. That is a store brand.
Yeah, that's like Sam's Club.
That's like Sam's or Giant or something.
Yeah, it's like Mountain Lightning.
Yes, exactly.
They have their own. They have everything. They have Shasta Grape.
Exactly.
Shasta. They have
because it's a store brand. It's a store brand.
Dr.
Dude,
Bob.
I'm pretty sure it's
Dr. Bob.
I think it's Amazon brand.
Probably.
Ew.
That's still a thing.
Which by the way, I ordered that toilet paper from Amazon. There was like mold on. There was like mold on it.
Ew.
I'm literally returning toilet paper. Not used. But yeah.
Oh.
That's gross.
Shoot, I ordered the northern kind.
That one's fine. That one's fine. I got that too.
Okay.
So
Ew,
right,
that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good for the nether regions.
No.
Yeah. Imagine moldy undercarriage smell.
Well,
why you added smell to it?
Yeah.
It smells like Shasta ginger ale down here.
Told you it's a real thing.
Yeah, whatever.
I think it's Shasta, and I'm pretty sure it's like Giant brand.
Shasta? No.
Shasta.
Shatsa.
No, it's Shasta in my pants.
Shasta.
Give me the moldy toilet paper. Shasta everywhere.
Come take a sniff of my undercarriage.
Ew.
I can't believe you just
No, what do you say? Ew. No, Trey. Trey just talked.
Yeah, but you're like,
you just asked people to.
Yeah.
Sorry, listeners. He doesn't really want you to do that. And please don't ever do that.
All right. Let's get out of hand. All right. Well, hey, enjoy your weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, and just quick announcement here. If anybody's still listening after that, it's happening. We are going to start having episodes out on Wednesdays. moving forward for the next couple of weeks here while Mr. Schoolboy up in the top corner there gets some work done. So we'll be releasing episodes, kind of break up your week. It's going to give us an opportunity to actually talk about Thursday games, Friday games, because obviously we talked about lots of football. And baseball playoffs should be full swing. Maybe we'll touch on that a little bit. Maybe a little NHL.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, get going on that soon.
So, but enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. Good to talk to you guys.
Yep. See you, fellas.
All
See
right.
you guys.
See ya.